Good morning, everyone. Can everybody hear me okay in the back, too? All right, perfect. Thank you. It's funny, getting here and surveying where we're going to be doing a press conference like this and acknowledging the road right there with a lot of the big trucks driving by. Hopefully I don't strain my voice during this, and hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I want to thank everyone for joining us today for this very, very special event. For those I haven't had a chance to meet yet, I'm Zach Schamberg, and I'm the president and CEO of the Pennsylvania Healthcare Association, or PHCA. And we represent long-term care in Pennsylvania, not just nursing homes, but personal care homes and assisted living communities as well. We don't just represent the operators. We represent the workers, the frontline caregivers, and most importantly, we represent the residents across Pennsylvania, my grandfather being one of those residents. So this is especially personal for me. Today, we wanted to come here to show our appreciation to you and to all staff in our nursing homes, whether you're on the floor or whether you're in the office. You are the women and men who have been on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic since March 2020 for more than 2 years. And no matter the day, it doesn't have to be an event like this. We should all be extending our appreciation to you and to our healthcare heroes for taking care of our most vulnerable population, our parents, our grandparents, our loved ones, our friends, and our neighbors. I think as everyone under this tent would agree with, long-term care is facing extreme workforce challenges right now. Most industries and businesses throughout Pennsylvania are facing those same workforce challenges, but we're a little bit different. Our industry can't simply shut down. We can't close down for the day. We have to continue care to meet the growing demands across the state. And you've surely seen the headlines. Throughout the last year, there have been bottlenecks that formed in our hospitals. Long-term care facilities are being forced to turn away vulnerable residents simply because they don't have enough staff. To put it simply, we need to appreciate and support those on the front lines, especially in Pennsylvania, a state with one of the oldest populations in the entire country. So today we're here to highlight the importance of your service by spending time with your residents and supporting your staff and providing lunch for this workforce. It's a very small gesture, but we hope that it reminds you of how grateful we are for everything that you've done. And it's also a reminder to the people of Pennsylvania that we need their help too as we fight to support long-term care and to make you a priority every single day. I'm very proud to be joined here today by a few of our legislative champions and those in Harrisburg who have truly prioritized long-term care in Pennsylvania. And that's State Senator Judy Ward and State Representative Rich Irvin. Thank you both for being here today. Just a few weeks ago, Senator Ward and Representative Irvin, as well as their colleagues, prioritized nursing homes in the state budget by approving a 17.5% Medicaid rate increase. That's the first rate increase for this sector since 2014, as well as critical one-time stimulus funds that can be put towards COVID-19 expenses. The way we see it at PHCA, that funding will empower our members and providers across Pennsylvania to invest in residents and their workers, to recruit new caregivers to help you on the front lines, and to meet skyrocketing operating expenses. In the end, that all leads back to our primary mission, providing high-quality care for our most vulnerable residents. So at this time, I want to turn it over and introduce Angela Newman, the administrator here at Woodland Park, to share a few words about her staff. Angela, thank you.
Good morning. I'm very excited to be here today to express my gratitude for all of the hard work that my staff does. As Zach mentioned, I'm Angela Newman. I'm the nursing home administrator here at Woodland Park. I've worked in long-term care for 18 years, but I've only been the administrator here for the past year. Caring for the older members of our community or any community never really receives the recognition that this profession deserves. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit more than 2 years ago, long-term care quickly received a lot of attention. Within that attention, there was a lot of blame and negativity around the work that we do. The work of caring for the most vulnerable population around the clock. Caring for our residents, individuals that have become extensions of our families. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity today to stand here with the long-term care advocates and provide the recognition that our healthcare heroes deserve. I'm proud of each and every staff member here at Woodland Park, hardworking people that are passionate about coming to work every single day to care for the residents of our community. From the CNAs to dietary, therapy to housekeeping and laundry, activities, maintenance, LPNs, RNs, anyone that has a role in caring for our residents, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Embassy Healthcare appreciates you, and also our residents and families appreciate you. This pandemic has made our jobs more challenging and adds to the burnout that we all feel. And while we have remained resilient in sustaining care, I continue to see a growing need for access to resident care that can only be met with more staff. Without the dedicated staff here today, we would have an even more difficult time meeting the demand for care. Funding care, just as we did in this year's state budget, is critical in helping to retain and recruit more staff. We are in the business of caring, and we want to be able to expand that access to care. To do so, we will need to see a continuation of that support, both in the legislature, among our greater community, to ensure Pennsylvania residents can access care. I feel good in believing that support will continue, knowing that we are joined here today by legislative leaders and their staff that have advocated for long-term care. And I believe they will continue to advocate for us moving forward. Together we have overcome a lot, and with the right help, I know we can overcome so much more. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Next, I want to introduce Prentice Thompson, the Chief Operating Officer for Embassy Healthcare, to share more about the importance of prioritizing long-term care with support to sustain care for our aging population.
All right, how are you guys today? So thanks, Zach, for putting this together. Pennsylvania Healthcare, I'm involved in a lot of healthcare associations across the country. And without a doubt, Pennsylvania Healthcare and Zach are a leader for the state, but they're also leaders nationally. So you are the gold standard, and we appreciate all you do. And then for Senator Ward and Representative Irving, by the way, they promised me the train wouldn't come through while I was talking. So anyway, so thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And for most of all the staff here. So I was thinking about it a lot last night, and I could either watch The Bachelor with my wife or think about this. So I decided to think about this. So, what makes this building special? And, early on, so when COVID came, just like many nursing homes across the country, the staff here rallied and they said, we're going to work 16-hour days. We're going to miss holidays. We're going to miss, I think somebody here actually missed their honeymoon in this building. We're going to rally for our residents because we know how important they are. Well, this building went the extra mile, and I know many of you guys remember this, is when I first came here, many of the managers, many of everybody here, all the workers here, had actually moved into this facility. So instead of going out in the community and getting exposed to COVID or running that risk, the staff here actually moved in. So I don't know of another facility in the country that I've heard of that the staff actually moved into the building. And, that set with me for a long time. And actually, when we first acquired this building, you were in outbreak and we couldn't tour the building, but I got to meet the staff, and I'm like, this is a special building. So, thank you for that, because will forever stick with me. As I share the same with Zach, is, my father was in a nursing home through COVID, and, what made me sleep at night were the nurses, the nursing assistants, the housekeepers that would, we would bring him food, and they would, make sure he ate it and share everything that he went through. But, I've been in the industry now for 31 years, and it's hard to believe. I know I look a lot younger than that, but it's been 31 years. So in that 31 years, I've learned, one thing, that this is not a career. It's very much a mission and a ministry. So, we are so privileged to be able to work with you, and we're so privileged to be able to serve the population that we serve, our residents. Another log truck. So we're so privileged to do that, and and for me, it's a life calling for our company, for Embassy. It's a life calling for us. 2 seconds about Embassy. This is our 25th year in operation, so we're really proud of that. We have a long-term ties to Pennsylvania. Our CEO actually grew up in Scranton, and he'd love to be here to tell you that. But we do appreciate everything you do and all the support we get from Pennsylvania Healthcare and the legislature. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Prentice. Thanks for your kind words. I had to write my speech this morning because I did watch The Bachelor with my wife last night. So you were much more committed than I was last night. Next, I want to introduce our legislative champions, and I want to start with State Senator Judy Ward. Trying to think about how I would introduce the senator today, there's so much I could say about what she has done for long-term care in Pennsylvania, what she has done for our residents and for our staff. What I would point out and what I would really focus on with State Senator Judy Ward is that there is no one more committed in the state Senate today than supporting and preserving our workforce in long-term care. And not only that, building our workforce in long-term care today, tomorrow, and in the years to come. Senator, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What a pleasure to be here. And I wanted to start out by thanking PHCA, Zach, Tim Ward, their entire team. They represent you so well in Harrisburg. They come to us, they tell us your issues, what your struggles are, what you need, and we try, Representative Irvin and I and our colleagues try to work around that. I chair Aging and Youth. We've held hearings because we want your voices to be heard. So I'm so proud to stand here with PHCA today and recognize our amazing frontline caregivers, all of you. You answered the call of duty in the midst of a global pandemic. And you did that to serve loved ones in need. And I want to thank you personally and professionally. Thank you for what you've done and what you continue to do every day in the face of challenges. I know firsthand the value that you all bring to the table, each and every one of you. My mother was in a long-term care facility during COVID, and I witnessed caregivers again and again provide support, comfort, love, and laughter to my mother. And knowing that she could depend on quality care meant so much to me and my entire family. She just passed at 99 and a half back in June, and the love and concern and care people showed for her was amazing, and I'll never forget it. While our caregivers were providing historic levels of care to our loved ones, the General Assembly was also putting in work to support these crucial frontline workers, all of you, at our long-term care facilities. One of the most notable achievements, as Zach said, was a much-needed historic investment in our nursing homes, assisted living, personal care homes, and other long-term care facilities. This year's budget included a $515 million investment in these facilities, including a 17.5% Medicaid rate increase and $157 million in American Rescue Plan funds for nursing homes, assisted living communities, and personal care homes. Another win was the passage of Senate Resolution 288, which I was proud to sponsor. This resolution authorizes a study by the Joint State Government Commission to research the staffing needs of our long-term care facilities, specifically as it pertains to the use of Medicaid funds. This study will give us a clearer picture of where the needs are and better understanding of how to address those needs. Retaining staff has been a big, huge challenge for our long-term care facilities. And for many employees, the ability to work hinges on access to childcare. So to help with this, the budget includes $25 million for childcare services and $60 million for the Pre-K Counts program. Losing childcare benefits is a devastating blow to families and causes many folks to drop out of the workforce. So in long-term care facilities, this means one less caregiver to assist with care for residents. While we've had success recently, our work is not done. We must continue to advocate and fight for those who are most vulnerable. I want to thank you again for letting me join you today, and I look forward to continuing to work with PHCA and to strengthen our long-term care facilities to better them for the folks that we love and our family members. Thank you all for what you do. It's so greatly appreciated. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you for sharing your personal story with us. Again, like I opened with, it is personal for so many people, legislators, advocates like me, folks all across Pennsylvania for what you do. This is personal. Next, I want to bring up another champion for long-term care, someone who, when we talk in the Capitol, when we see him in Harrisburg, the first question always is, what can we do? What can I do? How can I support long-term care? I want to welcome up our friend, again, another champion for long-term care, Representative Rich Urban. Thanks, Representative.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. Whenever you speak last, I think you have a lot of everything that's been said, and I don't want to reiterate a lot, but I do want to touch on some different things. First, I do want to thank the Pennsylvania Healthcare Association for including me in today's event, along with Senator Ward. Zach had mentioned in his open remarks about Pennsylvania being an aging state, and we are. We have a lot of our young people that we're educating right here in Pennsylvania, and next thing you know, they're leaving the state in order to move to another state to find a good family-sustaining job. And you're thinking, why am I talking to you about this? The idea is we need to make sure that we keep our younger generation right here in Pennsylvania so that they can help fill the workforce problems that we are having throughout every industry throughout the state, including long-term care, exactly what you're doing. And I'm sure that is putting a lot of overtime and a lot of extra work on the healthcare facilities that we're dealing with right here. A lot of times I think that we at the state legislative level are sometimes reactive rather than proactive. Last year, it was very nice to be a part of a proactive legislative action whenever we had the opportunity that we put enough money into the rainy day fund out of your CARES funding, your federal funding, that was able to use some of over $100 million to try to help some of the nurses that probably work in facilities like this to help pay off their student loans or give them student loan credits, and help the healthcare facilities throughout the state. Obviously, this year's budget, we did address the nursing long-term care facilities that have been mentioned by Senator Ward and Zach, and I didn't realize, I had a lot of people come into my office from different nursing facilities, whether they had loved ones here, and they had a real hard time throughout the whole COVID experience because they weren't able to see their loved ones. Their loved ones were isolated from them. They weren't able to do it. So you were the individuals who were actually the only contact they had with the outside world. And after talking with Prentice, whenever I first got here, I didn't realize that actually some of you even moved into the facility to help take care of these residents, to keep their safety at the utmost importance. So, I cannot thank you enough for all that you do for the residents of this facility and our senior population, our most vulnerable across the state. So, I just want to reiterate that I understand that your jobs are not easy, and the time you spend away from your own family over this pandemic in order to protect the residents of our facility here goes recognized at your state legislative level, and we thank you very much for all you do, and myself and Senator Ward will continue to help support our long care facilities in the state. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you again to our legislative leaders. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for everything that you do each and every day. At this time, we're going to join the residents here at Woodland Park for some games and some crafts. I also want to invite all staff here today to enjoy a complimentary lunch right behind you in that white tent, and that's being served by Stoner Dogs. I also want to present Angela with a thank you card from PHCA. We also have gift cards for the 2 other shifts here so that you can get them breakfast, dinner, lunch, and we want to make sure that everybody feels honored today at Woodland Park. So thank you again for being here. Thank you.